pursuant to the Spalding County Code of Ordinances, Part 2, Government Administration, Chapter 12, Section 2-1204 fees, Spalding County Board of Commissioners are to review alleged violations of the Spalding County Code of Ethics.
Why don't you,
This is the
this is the first time we've done this, so Mr. Attorney, what options of the ordinance and what's going to happen?
Okay. The ordinance states that when an allegation that a violation of the ethics ordinance required has occurred, and that the person who alleged to have done it is a commissioner, when that happens, it triggers the following. Complaint is received by the clerk of the Board of Commissioners, which alleges a prima facie, which means on its face taken that everything on there is true, that a violation would have occurred, which alleges a prima facie violation of the Code of Ethics by a member of the Board of Commissioners. Then in such event, the remaining commissioners shall review the allegation, and in the event that 3 commissioners agree that a prima facie violation of the ethics ordinance is presented, then in such event, an independent review board shall be convened. It needs to be called, and the ordinance goes on to state that the independent review board is comprised of citizens who have been chosen by the commission. Each commissioner was to choose not their representatives, but the ones that they would appoint to this review board. Meant that a review board had to be assembled. The 3 appointees of the commissioner who violated the ethics ordinance were taken out of the pot, so to speak. The remaining would be in there and be drawn randomly. Those 3 people would comprise the review board. Okay, where the review board can review the evidence and make a determination whether or not, in their opinion, a violation, then they sort of play jury. And in the event that a violation is deemed to have occurred, out above to assess. What happened this morning is that the evidence from has to say, hear about her allegation of what you contend, and I think that would of course be fair to allow sailors to address the board. And then you do have some paper evidence in front of you, which I think is in your various packets there for you to review. But once you've received all the evidence that you wish to receive, then the 4 of you, not Ms. Lyles Taylor, obviously would not be in the these charges, have to review the evidence and make a determination. Then that's really the end of your job. Ricky here, draw 3 names, we discuss this procedure, all 3, and then we would draw 3 more, keeping alternates in case one of the first 3 says, I can't do it, or I'm out of town, or I don't want to do it, or whatever. So we would draw some alternates who would be brought up in the order in which they're drawn after a place one of these. That's about it. If anybody has any questions, I'm glad to try and answer them.
In our first order of business, Ms. Connie Pound, would you like to make a statement or come up and tell out what occurred, or please give us your name and address also.
Okay, Connie Pound, 835 Hanover Drive, Bristol, 30224.
And before we start, the ordinance does not require witnesses to be sworn in or anything, so everybody understands that up front. Okay. Yes, ma'am. Just you filed the complaint, so just tell us why or expired or your reason.
Okay, I feel like that commissioners, elected officials should be held to a higher standard than regular citizens of the county. I also understand that in following this, that the night that it occurred, emotions were really high. It was election night. Everybody has their opinion, but when you put something in social media, it becomes factual. I feel like that night when Ms. Wallace Taylor called me names that have attacked me, my character, me as a Christian, me as a citizen, I felt like it slandered me. She called me a stupid biatch, ATCH, and also called me a conservative, racist queen. Racist part is what really got me because, you know, I put stuff on my page, but it's on Facebook. It's my page. I can put what I post. I didn't even realize that we were friends on Facebook until she posted that. That's the first thing she'd ever posted on my page. I was shocked. I was embarrassed. I was hurt. And I just don't think it's right. I think that elected officials should not talk like that and call people names like that.
And if I understand things correctly, then we all take the opportunity, if she so desires to,
Good morning, gentlemen. Gwen Flowers, Pedal 134 Collins Street. I am also a citizen of the Beach, United States. On the night in which this post was made, it was made in my home on my personal device without using county property, county email. I cannot represent myself as a county commissioner. I think part of what it is that has to be decided by you gentlemen is there a line of demarcation between. I became aware of a complaint on or around November the 14th, the first time that I knew. I was not aware that I had a fine to be paid for the state of Georgia. I have found out subsequently that no one has ever notified officially that they fined. Whether at the time when I found out that there were at least 4 of us on this board who had outstanding fines that had no knowledge of that. That's an issue that the state has to deal with. Upon finding that out, I promptly paid a fine, which is what is required in the ethics ordinance, on November the 19th. And on the 21st, those charges or those disclosure forms now got a confirmation from the state of Georgia on 11/21. I really feel bad that Ms. Pound feels like she was personally attacked. Until today, this is the first time that I've ever seen her. I don't know how her transmission came onto our webpage. I am not a social media or computer genius. I have since learned then to very much filter what is on my computer. But the statement, the generalized statement, I can understand her feeling that she was hurt. But as a supporter of our President of the United States, I was very much offended that her comments indicated that anyone that supported the President were whiners and that we were welfare recipients and that we were all getting EBT cards, and that hurt me because I was an advocate and supporter of the President. And just as I felt like she had the right to make that statement, I felt like I had the right to make a comment. When you comment on social media, that is exactly what that is. Am I sorry that I had to make this happen this morning, that it's a result of a comment that I made, that I'm spending county time and money to go to this hearing? I am sorry for that. But I will defend my right as an American citizen to be able to comment. Personally, when I had an opportunity to, I've always done that. And I have not done anything in the past to disgrace this board.
You would have a right to ask her a question.
yes,
Yes. Ms. Taylor? Excuse me. It has been said that you used the word biatch. I'm not familiar with that word. Could you explain it?
It is not a word.
B-I-A-T-C-H.
Right. It is a euphemism, as anyone can translate whatever it is.
So, in your opinion, it's nothing derogatory or anything of that nature. Is that correct?
I use that term, so it's not used for bad.
Okay. That's all I have.
Thank you.
Gwen, I have 2 questions.
yes, sir.
Under the code of ethics that we have, number 8 is the one that sticks closest to home here. And that is never engage in other conduct which is unbecoming of an official which constitutes a breach of public trust. Do you feel you have engaged in conduct conduct that is unbecoming an official and which breached the public trust here?
Honestly, I do not, and I can share with you why. I kind of wrestled with the whole thought of, had I an article in Griffin Daily News that was read where he attacked the president of the nuclear. I don't think that what I said or did on my private media were such a violation. So the answer to your question is I don't feel like I violated public trust. I feel like I may have let some in out loud. So,
When you and I spoke privately on this matter, you expressed regret over this situation. Do you still have those regrets?
oh yeah, I mean, I regret that I hurt anyone's feelings, but I also know that I'm a human, and I feel that's what we do. That is the fight or flight, or what you do. So I was not aware that even people that were my Facebook friends that were in that comment, and just as I told you then, I believe that there are just I think it's becoming a convey. I was offended by the comment that were derogatory to all the supporters of the president. Yes, I'm sorry, because as I said, I could be at work today. You guys should be able to take care of the county. Individuals would not be here hearing what I feel like is just a nurse for trying to reconcile. My feelings were hurt as well, but lots of regret. I definitely won't be making any Facebook anymore.
Thank you.
Any discussion or?
Find Ms. Pound's letter here. If I understand it, Jim, there's two issues here. The unpaid monies to the Georgia Government Transparency Campaign, and then the conduct unbecoming, correct?
I believe that's correct. Those are
If I may, Mr. Vice Chair.
yes.
I'd like to address the Georgia unpaid notices due to the Georgia Government Transparency and Campaign Finance Commission. This commission came into effect basically year before last, my election year. And in doing that, it requires documentation be filed, campaign contributions be filed within certain amounts of time. If not, you were fined for not having those turned in on time. You do either do it by mail, but they prefer by electronic over the internet. There was a lot of issues when they first started this back when they started this. I didn't get mine in for the first time because I wasn't given a password for my campaign contributions. I was given a password for my disclosure form. So I did one. I thought I had done both because common sense says you only need one password to go on one site and do everything you need to do. Well, I forgot this is the state of Georgia, and I was wrong. And I was fined $125 in 2010, June of 2010, because I didn't file a report on time. Well, I tried to rectify that. At that point in time, I was told you owe $125. You can't show where we didn't give you the password, and therefore that's it. Well, I had an email that did that. I submitted it. I still had to pay $125. If you look at the listing on who is on that list now for unpaid fees, fines, and who have not submitted documentation, there's elected officials in Spalding County that have not submitted the required documentation since 2007. They also have over $1,100 in fees and fines. So that is not a well-working program. And that I have been on that board, Ms. Pounds. I understand the need to submit documentation, have it submitted, do it on time. But the system doesn't work that well on that. So I just want to bring that up.